Welcome back to another video focusing on the Duel Links structure decks. This time we'll be doing Gladiator Storm. It's another EX structure deck. Here are the contents. It's on a limited time sale right now. $7 or $8 plus 1,000 gems to get the 3 copies you need. And what that will give you is 3 unexpected die. It'll give you 3 War Chariot. It'll give you 3 Test Tiger. It'll give you 3 Andal, it'll give you 3 copies of your Bestiari, you'll get a Mamillo, a Sagittari, you'll get Hoplimus, a Secutor, not a great one, but you'll get some betas in Dimakari and the Lanista, and more importantly, you'll get some really nice boss monsters in Gazaris and Neurokius, and Esadari to a lesser extent. This is a really good structure deck. It's got some really nice boss monsters, it's got some in-archetype negation, it's got some special summon, spell and trap removal and monster removals respectively. Just an overall really good structure deck. And I have one list ready to go, so let's jump into that now. So based on those cards, this is what I've kind of landed on. You play your 3 Test Tiger, you play your 3 Unexpected Die, your War Chariot, 3 Bestiari, you want to always have this in hand. Unexpected Die plus your Bestiari, that's going to let you make your Gazaras. Whereas the other things like Mamillo and Sagittari, they're mainly just things that you want to tag out into. You can also tag out into this and remove back row, but making sure that you have a play to summon Gazaras every time is very important. As far as tagging out into, for example, when we summon our Gazaras, we'll pop 2 cards. We'll go to battle phase attack, and then we want to tag out. We can tag out into a defensive option in Hoplimus, and a offensive option in the Lanista. And then the 2 Arndal, I didn't want to play 1, because if you play 1 and you brick on it, then all the 3 of the unexpected die are now turned off. I want to play 2, just to reduce the instances of unexpected die being a dead card. As far as the skill goes, I saw some lists running Destiny Draw, but I didn't feel like the skills were super necessary and like had a lot of synergy with the strategy unless they're running a different build entirely. This was ran back in the day. It just lets you attack into defense things without taking damage, and then you would obviously be proccing your Gladiator beasts. But again, it doesn't really matter. I feel like this is very flexible. You can just play whatever you like. Maybe tie binds as well. With that all being said, I'm going to just dive straight into some duels. I feel like this list is going to do very well. It is significantly better than the Exceed structure deck we played last video. This just feels really solid. This could take you a lot higher. I mentioned in the other video, the Exceed structure deck, it can probably get you to silver. If you're like kinda lucky, you could get into gold. This is an easy gold, probably higher. This is a very nice deck. So we have Otto's Pendulum Dragon. Scaling that up. He's scaling a 4 and an 8. That's not bad. We do need a unexpected die here. Ooh, that makes this a lot easier. Okay, we will unexpected die. Nothing on summon, that is a very good sign for us. One weakness of this deck for sure is that its turn 1 is quite weak. A strength of the deck is to be able to have a battle phase and attack, and obviously have that extra draw for the better chance to make our plays with our die and our Bestiari. Ooh, I can't tag out the Bestiari. Okay, well it's still a tag out then. You searched a card at the end there, didn't you? You searched the Stargazer, which is a low, so you could definitely do it. So the card he drew was the Odd Eyes Saber Dragon. He swings over. When this card destroys, sends it to the graveyard, you can show how much your opponent controls. That's why he did that. Understandable, but we actually have a really nice punish here. Oh my god, that's such a good top deck. That's insane. Ah, we're just too good at the game. What can I say? Let's get rid of this. And we get swinging. Alright. Alright. So, we obviously went second last duel, and we did very well, but now we've got to try and handle going first. Set Hoplimus pass. You can only scale the Time Gazer when you control no other cards or no other monsters. It's actually done something very strange. Something that we can really punish here. Anyway, what do we want to shuffle back? We probably want to shuffle back the Sagittari. So let's summon that out. No delay on summon. Always a good sign. I'll just clean up the back row. Ooh, that protects? That's fine. It's a dark magic attack. All of our Hoplimus and Lannister in rotation right now, but we're going to be shuffling them back. I could honestly just stay wide here. No need to go into Gazaras. But yeah, but most decks, like a set Hoplimus pass, most decks are going to be punishing that pretty hard. So, definitely not as good going first. Okay. Again, we're going first, but our hand is significantly worse. Okay, I think my two plays are summon the Lannister, test Tiger into the Hoplimus, get that on the field, or use the die, test Tiger Hoplimus. I'll keep the unexpected die. I'm just going to, yeah, turn one play. Just with the structure deck, not that great. Ooh, a Risen Gaia, power of the... Ooh, that's okay. And there it is. Okay, let's go. But we will be using all our resources here. Let's go into this. Effect. Get out of here. You can pop up to 2. Important to note, it doesn't have to be 2. So it'll ask you select another one. No, we don't want to pop our own card. That'll let us swing. We tag out. Go into our Hoplimus and our Lannister. Okay, he's bringing us back the Arisen Gaia. It doesn't look like he did he? Oh, Destiny Draw Monster Reborn. Well, it doesn't matter, because we are the best duelist in the game, after all. We will just top deck the Bestiari. And, that's game, my friend. It doesn't matter, because we are the best duelists in the game. Bestiari is glued to our hand, no doubt. So a Fiendish Chain would be pretty rough here, because it'll stop us from attacking and tagging out, but it will also stop us from popping their cards. Because he's got chainables, I'm going to go for the monster, and we just 50-50 on the back row. I'm kind of dead center. I'm feeling right down the middle. It is a Fiendish Chain. He's just gonna pass. I don't know about that, Chief. Do you not have anything? Does he have double Fiendish, is the question. Pediment of Shadow Veil. That's fine. Okay, it does have a graveyard effect. I feel like we may want to try and get into our trap. If his hand is really slow and we get to our trap before he gets to a play, then again his hand could have just been 2 Altair and he wanted the Altair in the grave. But if he wanted that, he wouldn't have Fiendish Chained. I'm going to Sagittari. I'm going to discard the Lannister. It's not the worst thing, but I really wanted one of my negates. So I feel like those are bluffs. Because he already had those 2 in hand. Maybe. I feel like one of them is bait. One of them might be like a reborn for his Deneb. I'll go close to the deck this time. It's a book. That's totally fine. So we wipe the field here. Passes. That'll just wrap up the game. No, he's got the Shadow Veil. He's not dead quite yet. But we actually have the negate, so now not even an Altair top deck is going to cut it. GG. I think he just said, yeah, this duel is not going my way. Let's just cut it. So this hand is very crusty. I guess the only decision I really have to make is, do I just sit on Arndar, or do I use the Test Tiger and summon the Hoplimus? Yes. If I don't top deck Bestiari, I'm gonna need the Test Tiger for any other Glad Beast to go into Bestiari. So I'm actually gonna sit on this, so that any Glad Beast gets us into Gazaris next turn. Okay, we have the Senatus. We have a negate. And I don't think that Dragoonity in Duel Links has much extension beyond their normal summon. Unless, of course, they have Monster Reborn. That's really bad. In fact, very, very not good. Absalon isn't an OTK, but is still very powerful. It'll depend on us top decking a Glad Beast, and it'll depend on what that set card is. That's a Glad. That was a Drowning. Thank the Lords that we don't have to deal with that. Looks like he can float here. If this card attacks or is attacked during damage card, we will play a Winged Beast. Have the... Oh no! We actually managed to sort of stabilize, but we're gonna lose regardless. Let's just get it over and done with. Yeah, so a weak turn 1, going against the deck that is also trying to blind second, you will not be in a very good shape. Them having the initiative of the battle phase, dealing 33, it just cleans it up. The one way I win here is if you go into the Xyz monster and get like super greedy. So it seems like we're versing Code Talkers. We have a Playmaker here with Storm Access, adding Decode Talker and Firewall to the extra deck. I mean, I gotta try for it. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude! No! What the fuck?
Dark Magician!
It's the best card in the game!
Alright, so we have our turn 1. It's going to be a Hoplimus, but the War Chariot only is able to be active if your Glad Beast is face up. So I think this time I'm actually just gonna Arndal, set the Chariot. Enemy controller. Okay. I could crash, but I'm just gonna set the Hoplimus now. Him swinging is really what I need. I appreciate that. I think I'd rather just draw deeper into my deck here. Oh yeah, no, those were some good draws, for sure. Yeah, now we're getting rolling. Okay. A Red Eyes Baby Dragon. And here we will float into the Lannister. Or Lannister. Still don't know how to pronounce that card. Okay, we actually have the War Chariot. It gives you an extra normal. I don't really know why he summoned the retro, but is what it is. So yeah, that's the deck. I feel like the deck speaks for itself. Turn 1 was difficult. Obviously, much worse than going second. Going second, you have a lot of tools. It's more likely you will see your die plus your bestiary if you're drawing that extra card. You have some plays with Test Tiger. Going first, it's less good. You've got you know, set Hoplimus Pass. You've got maybe if you have some of your bigger beaters, you can play them face up and rely on War Chariot, but it is not fantastic. Test Tiger can help you get into whatever you deem to be most appropriate. But I do have some other card considerations, and that's what I wanted to do at the end here, is talk about some cheap, accessible options for you to improve this deck. Card ticket stuff, card trader cards, things like that. So one of the ones that I think could be a really good inclusion is a cast. I'm pretty sure that this is yeah, this is a ranked duel ticket card. When this card is special summon, target the Gladiator Beast card in your graveyard, add that card to your hand. That can include any monster that's in your graveyard. It can include War Chariot. It's a very nice card to have. And you would just probably put that in as a one-off, just to give yourself a bit of recursion. The other one that is maybe even easier to get is Darius, which I do have, but I didn't use it for this video. Available at the card trader. When this card is summoned, target one card on Gladiator Beast monster in your graveyard, special summon on target, but its effects are negated, and is shuffled into the deck when this card leaves the field. This is a way to get your Gladiator Beasts that have been put in the graveyard out of the graveyard, and then back into the deck rotation. There's a spell that does this as well, but it's not very good. Relying on Darius is obviously much better. I will say that this is worse, a little bit worse in Duel Links because of no main phase 2. You could obviously picture tagging out into this at the end of battle, summoning back something from the grave, and then main phase 2 actually making a play with those cards. You can't do that, but it's still a good recursive tool, much like a cast. I wanted to talk about the turn 1 problem. There's a couple of cards that you can consider. One of them is just sit on a Cartwright. Don't invest anything to the board if you don't feel like it's the right thing to do. Rely on the Cartwright in hand to protect you for one turn, and then you can then play into your opponent's board and try and break it down. With the Gazaras, with the Bestiari, the Murmillos. Another option is doing a very similar thing. Okay, I found it. I couldn't quite remember what card I was thinking of, but I was thinking of Hollowed Life Barrier. Now this is semi, but discard one card from your hand this turn. Any damage you take from your opponent's cards and effects becomes 0. Now, this is another turn 1 play you could use for Glad Beasts. Different from Kite Void, where your field needs to be empty, you could still play like an Andar, like a Lannister, and have your War Chariot set plus Hollowed Life Barrier. And the way this works, I believe, is that when they attack you, you just won't be destroyed by that battle and you won't take any damage. And if that's an effect monster, it will then let you tag out. It's very likely that you get the best effect from that when they do attack you, and then you chain as they're attacking, then you don't take the damage, then you're able to tag out. If they remove this before going into the battle phase, it's obviously not as strong, but it's another turn 1 option that you are able to use. Another card that's similar to this is Rainbow Life, but I feel like this one is slightly better. So that's just some options. Again, if you want to go even further into things that aren't so free to play, just having a good rank 4 to make on turn 1, that could definitely be impactful, like maybe Utopia. I think that there's a decent Jin card in the extra that you could go into. I forget its name. I think it might be Maestroke. Let me check. If you can get your hands on a Maestroke, the Symphony Gene, I'm pretty sure this is a really nice turn 1 play as well. It's nice and generic. So, just some things to consider. I still feel like this is a really solid deck. It obviously has the big weakness in going turn 1. Some hands you're going to brick on. I did find in some of the duels, I don't know if I've shown it, but having too much back row, you know, you want to go second, but if they set 3 and all those things are decent pieces of interaction, that can also be pretty rough, because despite having like Bestiari, Gazaris pops, it's still difficult to play through that kind of back row with no sort of spell and trap removal of your own that is spells and traps, like a Cosmic Cyclone, you know, like, I don't know, Twin Twizzers is in this game, pretty sure, but you know, like MST, things like that. Still a good deck though. I would rate this maybe in like easily the top 5 structure decks in the game. So far as I'm aware, I haven't played with all of them, but that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.